Colin Kaepernick's fraternity brothers today weighed in on the protests that grew over the weekend, sparked by the president's comments. Members of Kappa Alpha Psi, the Washington alumni chapter, met at their frat house at my last-minute invitation this afternoon. For purposes of full disclosure, I'm also a member of this fraternity. What do you make of what you saw yesterday?
Well, first, I was proud. I think that too often we don't stand up for things that we should. Thankfully, this is an organization that's willing to do that.
I don't think that would have ever happened without the Trump remarks. That's not a positive, that's a negative.
I think yesterday was historic. Schneider, the owner of the home football team, had his arms with the players of his team.
The movement is going to grow and that it's going to hit more. You've seen 8th grade kids kneeling. I think it's important for them from a social and civil learning experience to understand what the protest is really about.
We've had members of our organization beaten by police, and we had to speak out as members, but it never got to the light of a national attention.
We're not very far from Charlottesville, and yet here we are now with the president continuing to sort of throw out things that divert attention from other issues. And I think that that's really what this is about.
You think he's playing to his base?
He's always playing to his base, and he understands that we're actually not very far from getting started with the 2018 congressional elections. And he has had no substantial wins on any substantial policy. And he has to show something to those folks who've been supportive of him.
I think what the NFL did, what Golden State Warriors did, what Steph Curry did, and what my frat brother, Colin Kaepernick, has been doing is arguing that there's nothing wrong with the flag, nothing wrong with patriotism, nothing wrong with our soldiers, but the misconception by those who are offended by the kneel or the locking of arms is that the very soldiers and flag they want to support, those soldiers fought for the right to protest that way.
We continue to see incidents across the nation where unjustifiably the police brutality, excessive force, and those kinds of things continue to occur.
I do have a bit of a concern because every day we're talking about controversies over people kneeling is a day that we're not talking about police brutality. And my fear is that if the president continues to have the conversation be about kneeling and disrespecting the flag, then we can't deal with what we're really supposed to be dealing with.
Does Colin Kaepernick step foot on a football field again? Does the team sign Colin Kaepernick?
I think it may be difficult for him because many times athletes, when they take a stand, people kind of shy away from them. So I think he is basically laying the groundwork for the next generation of players. It's unfortunate. My father-in-law was a professional football player, sued the NFL by the name of John Mackey, and he's in the Hall of Fame. But at the same time, because he did sue the NFL for free agency, he was somewhat banned.
I've said it here and certainly on social media many times that while I now stand for the national anthem, I respect anybody's right not to stand. There are military men, though, in Kappa Alpha Psi who oppose Kaepernick's not standing for the national anthem. I'm assuming, though, those same Kappa men would be embarrassed by a commander-in-chief who would publicly call protesters SOBs. Coming up next.